So thank you for joining me in this interview today. Could you just introduce yourself?
I'm Hyunsoo Chung. I graduated from Village Christian High School, and I'm currently attending UCLA. I'm trying to major in political science with the concentration of international relations.
All right, so I guess we'll first begin with what made you choose political science among all other things?
Well, I originally had the intention to major in poli sci, or at least international relations, because I've been interested in Korean history and just the relations of Korea with other countries since like middle school. So I wanted to major in international relations, but UCLA doesn't have international relations as poli sci as major. So I chose poli sci too, because that was the closest thing I had at
Mm,
UCLA.
so like for your future career pursuits, like what exactly are you thinking of when you wanted to like or wanted to pursue international relations? Is it like a government official or just like a lawyer, or could you like expand?
Yeah, government officials is my intended goal. Trying to like find workplaces and like foreign service officer, and they have different tracks which I can choose from. It could be like policy track or like international like relations officer track. So I'm looking into that, but yeah.
That's pretty interesting. So I remember you mentioned that UCLA didn't have like the international relations track you were going for. So why did you choose UCLA among all the other colleges that you applied to?
Well, even though they don't have IR as a major, they still have it as concentration. So I thought that shouldn't be a problem. And choosing UCLA was, I had multiple reasons for it, but one of the reasons was church, because I wanted to stay at my home church, and UCLA was the closest university that I was accepted to. So I was glad to attend there. And other colleges that I were accepted to, that I was accepted to, um, I really didn't like. I didn't like how they behaved on certain, issues. So I chose UCLA.
I see. So I'm gonna steer a little bit away from the college and just go, or from the university and go towards the college application process, like the applications, the essays, and the SATs. So I'll just give you like a general overview of how did you feel about the process in general? Like, was it too long, too time consuming, or was it like just
Um, no, I thought it was reasonable for both Common App and UC applications because it was very structured well. And for UCs, you just have to submit one application. And for Common App, um, essays were like the only different part for each college. So I I didn't think it was too long. I thought it was reasonable for seniors to, deal with it.
like were you personally like familiar with what to do at the beginning of the process, or did you have like some sort of friends or family or like mentors help guide you through the entire process? Because I know like some students have these like institutions that help them, like these college admissions tutors in a way. So like, did you
Mhm.
personally have those kind of experiences, or did you just go by yourself?
Yes, I had some institutions helping me, um, but I still had to like they just gave me overall like overview of the applications, so I just obtained that, and then um, working on the application was just on my own.
And like just I guess like an addition for this college application process, like where did you or did you get seek out other information about the college through their websites? Or like how did you research the universities as you were doing the process? Because I know many students struggle through like the why do you want to come to this university or institution.
Mhm. Uh, I definitely did online research by accessing their websites. Also, how they send us those like brochures and like magazines.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I used those to have more idea of how the college and the universities are, and I would hear from other people if I know anyone who has went to that school. And ultimately, I would gather information and write why I would want to attend that college.
I see, I see. So like, I guess there's like to wrap this part up, if you had to change one thing about the application process, whether it be the essays or the SAT scores, or like just the extracurriculars, like the holistic element of these application, what would you choose to change, or like what did you find the most difficult or annoying part?
Something I want to change.
If any? Yeah.
I would definitely work more on the SAT scores, especially subject scores, because
Mm,
I didn't really have that many. So besides that, I think it was all fine.
see, I see. So now we're gonna go on to like more of the college campus life or your experiences during your first freshman year. So what current extracurriculars are you participating in on campus?
Currently, there aren't that many, and since our freshman experience was cut short due to coronavirus, um, I didn't. It was like I was limited to it, but I had real Christian, ministry, and I joined like Global Leadership Association that I could. It was a Korean, like leadership association, so I was able to um, manage like events that we could, share more about Korea at UCLA, and I attended um, other events that I'm not part of it, whether it was like Liberty for North Korea or like Korean events. And I'm looking forward to joining an intramural soccer team next year, although I
Wow.
didn't get to experience that this year.
So you're like involved in both like your own religious life, your kind of professional element, and also like the athletics with the intramural. So you're just involved in the
Mhm.
multiple. See,
Yeah, but I was looking for like clubs or like frats regarding my major, but there weren't that many for international relations, so that was some struggle for me in the beginning.
see. So like on this same tangent, like what was something that you were able to do in college that you weren't necessarily able to do in high school or just back home due to like differences in like opportunity or
Something that I was able to do in college.
yeah.
Um, I would say like more study groups because for high school it's hard to like meet up with friends unless like you have a ride or you can drive by yourself.
Mhm.
But for college, many students live on campus, so it's easier to meet up with them, easier to also like hang out with them as well, and like there's no like time limit, like you don't have to. There's no curfew for
Yeah.
dorm life, so you could just study or hang out with your friends up to whenever you want. So I think that's the biggest difference from high school, and the the participating in classes is very different as well because in high school you have to go to school by 8 a.m, come back by like 3 p.m, but in college there is that schedule, but like you're not required to go. I mean, you
Mm.
might lose points, but like it's everything is up to your your will. So I think that's another big part that's different from high school.
I see. And like speaking of studying in college compared to high school, like what are the classes like or the lectures like compared to high school, especially with your focus on political science major? Because I know in like some STEM majors there's like a lot of lab sections and a lot of lecture intensive stuff. But what about like political science and international relations as a whole? Like in your
Well,
experience?
yeah, I haven't taken that many poli sci courses yet, but um, what the classes I've taken, it's more of like it's more writing for poli sci and more reading, I have to say, and but you have an access to discuss with your professor and your TAs. their office hours. So there is more resources that you can intake to write the papers. Yeah.
I see. So like as a wrap up to our interview, if you could give like any advice to high school students, like one tip, what would it be?
For high schoolers, I would say, enjoy the class time and like the opportunities to, play sports, because I miss it a lot. And like the vibe of high school is something that you're never gonna have again. So I would say, although you need to like focus and study hard for, to go to better college, you should also, you know, take care of your friendships and other relationships with teachers or any school related people, so that once you leave high school, that you have more things to look back on and more things to like write on your resume as well. So
I
yeah,
think that's a great tip to live by. Well, thank you for coming to the interview. Wish you the best of luck in your future pursuits.
thank you.